sandwich? Oh, good grief, not that kind of sandwich!
No worries, I used to work in an evil deli.
Oh, looks pretty good.
Hey yo, how's it going everyone? Entropy here today with another video. So many reveals, cards, super deck skins, and more. Let's talk about it. Starting with JP News with more stuff from Set 19 Divine Judgment of the Bluish Flames. Starting off today with OTT, Battle Sister Jilly. This is a Legion. When this unit Legions, count plus 3 for each Battle Sister from your center column, draw a card, and then discard a card from your hand. So you can draw up to 3, discard 1. You can also just count plus 3 to, draw 1, discard 1 if you're feeling like it. Something like a graceful charity for those Yu-Gi-Oh players. Honestly, kind of less heavy, but the skill isn't that bad. The skill isn't that bad. Like if it was kind of less 2 or something, I think maybe it'd be nicer. But honestly, not horrible, I guess, but still a bit expensive for my own taste. And then when this unit attacks Vanguard, if you have another unit in the center column, whether that's in Legion or a booster, then this unit gets plus 3k. So 14k beater. On Legion, that would be like what, 23? So not it's okay. It's okay. This is good. Battle Sister Pudding. Pudding skill is Rearguard Circle. When this attack hits a Vanguard, if all your units are Battle Sisters, countercharge 1, and one of your units gets plus 3k until end of turn. So yes, it does limit your units to be all Battle Sisters and whatnot. But the countercharge and the 3k is actually really good. Especially since its counterpart is so counterblast heavy. Even in a non-Legion Battle Sister deck, I think it's really quite splashable. I think OTT, the discard is a cost, but at the same time it does help you re-Legion faster. But then again, like how many times can you use the skill? Yes. With the countercharge, I guess you can use it twice. But, honestly, you're going to be aiming to use it once. You're going to be using your other Battle Sister skills. And Pudding is there to help you get an extra 3k that can actually help out. And countercharge is always good. Next up, we have Shadow Paladin. Starting with the Witches. Honestly, one of my most hyped archetypes coming to Zero. Because there's so much more that they can do. And we kind of see, it's going to be working differently from the TCG. Because of how the Zero works. And they've adapted it. To a degree of controversy, I'd say. Like, some people really like it, some people don't really like it at all. I think there is potential, and I'll explain why. So Vanguard Circle, when this unit Legions, count plus 3, retire another Witch Rearguard to reveal 10 cards from your opponent's top deck. Choose 2 random grade 3 or greater, call them to Rearguard Circles with your opponent's Rearguards, and those units become 5k power, grade 0 with boost, no ability. Your opponent's abilities do not activate from the call of this effect. In addition, once per turn, if your opponent has 2 or more grid zeros, return Rearguard to draw 2 cards. Return Rearguard with the same name as your Vanguard to draw 2 cards. So, Karmas 3, obviously, again, Karmas 3 is quite expensive. Unless you heal or play Curse Lancer to countercharge, you're only going to be using this once. But the Karmas 3 for that one turn when your opponent's at 4 or 5 is really huge. First of all, getting rid of your opponent's intercepts. Check top 10. The odds are pretty good because it is a 39 card deck after all. And then secondly, getting rid of triggers means that if your opponent's at 3 or 4, this means that their odds of hitting a damage check is now substantially lower, right? It's not substantially lower. The problem is, your opponent can whiff, but recognizing that this is the Legion format where people do want to put back grade 3s to your deck, makes this card actually flourish. It's kind of like an anti-Legion kind of unit. Originally, maybe what I would have developed was maybe like instead of just calling out the grade 3s, maybe banish them so you're super anti-Legion. But this is still fine. I think this is still anti-Legion. You're getting rid of potential drive checks or damage checks. You're getting rid of intercepts to go for face. You're also kind of punishing people for refilling their deck with triggers because it increases the consistency of this card. So yeah, I think this card is honestly could see play. Honestly, the art is really good, which is one of the main reasons why I want to play this card, and has played this card. But yeah, I really like the deck, and the second skill is like an extra thing, and it's nice to refill the hand because you do need to retire something for the first skill, which is also expensive. Next up we have Fem. This is the Legion Mate. It's just a 9+3, pretty solid. So I don't hurt retiring this card for the skill, but it's also a good beater, so you're probably going to be playing 4. Next we have Rias, Cultist Witch Rias. This is a second Legion. First of all, when this unit's in Legion, if your opponent's Vanguard is, your opponent gets minus 5k, and then if your opponent has 2 or more grid zeros, then they get minus 10k instead. So, you know, the minus power is less significant in 0 because you need to hit through the intercepts first, but witches do have a way around that, right? Because, you know, you can replace these intercepts with tokens. So second skill, Vanguard Circle once per turn, Caramas 2, retire a witch, check top 5 of your opponent's deck, choose a random grid 3, call it. It does the same thing, 5k, grid 0 with boost, and your opponent's abilities are not activated from the call of this effect. So the good thing about this skill is that it's Caramas 2 instead of Caramas 3. The bad thing is that you're getting less value for each Caramas, right? You know, if Caramas 3 is 2, then Caramas 2 should be like 1 point something. But it is more flexible. You're also checking top 5 instead of checking top 10, so the odds of whiffing is higher. But the first skill does help when you're trying to, I guess, push for like 3 to 6. I guess, is that even? I don't even know if that's possible, but the extra minus 10k could help that. And if you use Caramas 2 twice, and hopefully you don't whiff, then maybe you get a better effect of going from like 3 to 6, because then this unit actually gives your opponent Vanguard minus power, so your rearguard columns can actually connect and your Vanguard column can actually connect, even if your opponent hits a damage check. But you know, you're relying more on RNG because you know, you're only checking top 5 rather than checking top 10. Deirdre? Inspection Witch Deirdre. This card got mega nerfed. It used to be a Soul Blast cost, now it's Caramas 2 instead. So reminiscent of Chaos Breaker Dragon. Rearguard Circle in place if your Vanguard is a Witch. Caramas 2 to choose a round grade 3 or greater from your opponent's drop zone and call it to a Rearguard Circle. So this is like the consistent version. The weakness is that, of course, you're not filtering through your opponent's triggers. The good thing is that you're guaranteed to be able to get rid of that intercept. So pros and cons. Pros and cons. I think both of them go really well hand in hand. Caramas 2, you know, might seem expensive, but with the other skill like Caramas 3, then you're maximizing your Caramas usage efficiently. Caramas 5, again, it's still expensive, but this is the guaranteed way, right? Check top 5 is kind of risky. Check top 10 is decently consistent. This is guaranteed to get rid of that intercept and help you go for a game. So there is utility for this card. And honestly, Witches, I feel like is seeing something like a Chaos Breaker Dragon kind of reflex, where it's like, ooh, it's so kind of less expensive. I think there's still potential. You know, for example with Fem and Fiona, yes, it is Caramas 3, but you can still, you know, use the skills to plus and do other things other than using the Witch skill. And I guess just play Curse Lancer at 4 and start from there. Next up, we have Revenger, Phantom Blaster, Abyss. Now, I personally think that Abyss and Revengers overall are kind of like winners of the set because they got really good stuff. Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of this battle, this unit attacked the Vanguard. During this turn, this unit is Legioned. Caramas 1, retire 3 Revenger rearguards to stand this and draw 2 cards. When this attacks the Vanguard, it gets +2. It's again, like I talked about this in the Legion Part 2 video, the TCG review. This is kind of like Raging Form Dragon, except you don't need to, you know, Persona ride. Just on Legion, you get to do this. Retiring 3, it's still the same cost, but at the same time, you know, if you re-ride Legion and then you can re-Legion, helps you fulfill that cost if your opponent's kind of trying to stall you with that. I don't think that's a really big play in the zero metagame right now, but could be. And you know, I think that the Caramas 1 cost in exchange for the Persona ride, in exchange for the LB4, it is something that you need to consider. But I think that you could still play Raging Form Dragon as a 4-of, as a heal trigger or something in the deck, maybe. But I think Phantom Blaster Abyss is a pretty solid Legion boss so far. We have Blaster Dark Revenger Abyss. On place Rearguard Circle, Caramas 1 if your Vanguard is a Revenger, retire 1 of your opponent's grade 1 Rearguards. Obviously this card, you know, not a front row retirer, So Kingdom 1 is actually pretty decent. Maybe not play like 4 of this. I don't think you'll play 4 of this. Maybe 2, maybe 3. Because maybe you'd rather play the original Blaster Dark Revenger and the Doreen combos and all that. You know, Revenger still has a huge toolkit that are really amazing, like Tartu and whatnot. So maybe you'd prefer to play those. BDR Abyss, seemingly a really niche card, primarily used to be a mate for PBD Abyss. So, you know, but overall I still think it's a good card. And next up, honestly, one of the subplants that I think got adapted really well, Metalborgs. Metalborgs is something that I'm really hyped for, and I think they did DP justice. That I can't say they did it for the same for some other plans. Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it's Legion, and if its power including boost is 30k or greater, your opponent must discard a grade 3 or greater at random from their hand when activating a Sentinel during battle. If they did not discard, it does not activate. So this is like a free glory skill on Legion. You're 20k with a booster, maybe you're 27, and then you know, with an additional 3k, then you're good to go, right? You're good to go. Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks the Vanguard, if its power including boost is 20k or greater, draw a card. Now, right, I think the second skill is honestly really, really good. DP's always suffered from draw, card advantage, and 20k on attack. When you're Legion, that's 20k, right? So when you're Legion, it basically says when you're Legion, draw a card. But if you're not in Legion and you have a booster and you have some other stuff, then you can also draw a card. You know, that's really good. It's really good. I can't really say nothing about this. Maybe this is not an ideal first ride because, you know, guard restrict does not come into play when your opponent's at, unless your opponent's at 5, because this doesn't really have the crit. But still, I think it's a really solid card. You know, even if you don't really do much with your first skill at the beginning of the game, at least you can still draw and kind of like, you know, supplement your offense. Next up, we have Urbuster. Urbuster skill is Vanguard Circle, when your unit Legions, your Vanguard gets +4, and the following ability until end of turn. Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, retire one of your opponent's rearguards. So this is kind of reminiscent of Hesperus from Genesis, where when your Vanguard attacks, you know, retire something. But the +4, you know, casually helps you, you know, 20k, you hit 24k with a booster, you can hit 30k, you know, sounds good. One of the weaknesses is that you know, for 0 format, you need to put this in the back row to protect it, or else assume that your opponent's an idiot and like doesn't swing into this rearguard intercept and just passes, question mark. But yeah, like you're gonna prepare this in the back row, and then when you Legion, your Vanguard gets +4, the skill, and it also makes sure that the Sinbuster actually does stuff other than just the one draw in the early stages of the game, because it doesn't have any crit pressure. It's actually proc the guard restrict, so at least it gets to retire 1 on attack, and that's nice. Next up, we have Beetleborg, Baron Grader. Vanguard Circle, so +1, carry +1 to ride a card with Legion from your deck. Your Vanguard gets +3 until end of turn. Oh, hitting those numbers! I like that. And then Vanguard Circle, if your Vanguard is a Metalborg, still +1 to get. When your Vanguard Circle, when your Vanguard is a Metalborg, still +1 to get +2k until end of turn. This just helps you correct. I don't think any other Legion deck has something like this yet. And this is pretty Dimension Police specific so far in this game, right? We've seen something like this with Great Dai Kaiser support, and now we have Baron Grader. And this is really nice because, for example, if you're going first, right, you ride this, you're like, Baron Grader goes, you know, I'd rather go into Sinbuster. So you give Sinbuster 3k, that's 14. With the booster, 6k booster, even a PG, that's 20. So you get to draw a card. Kind of refund that minus that you had to go through by going into Baron Grader. But at least you corrected yourself and got the right Legion in. This could be the 13th grade 3. This could be a 4 of if you really value one of the specific Legions. I don't know yet. But yeah, I think it's pretty good. We have Metalborg Grion, which is honestly a pretty solid Legion as well. Legions with Lionetter, which we'll cover later. Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if it is in Legion and the power is 30k or greater, crit +1, and the following ability, when it hits, retire one of your opponent's rearguards. So you're like, well, it's a crit, right? Like, you know, it's hard to kind of get that extra retire in, especially since a lot of the decks are playing new PGs in the metagame. That's true, and I think that this card brings a little edge to it because it kind of punishes people. It kind of works well against like LB PGs and like old PGs and new PGs. With the old PGs, you just won't hit, so you're kind of denying them the damage to actually do stuff. For the new PGs, what this means is that they will take the damage, and while they do get the LB for next turn, you still get to retire something to kind of mitigate their plays. I think that this card is pretty interesting because of the potential. I think that what this means is that decks or clans that could play both new and old PGs gotta choose a route, choose a lane right now, like Kagero, primarily Spike Brothers as well. Traditionally, they could choose to play new PG or old PG because they had their Conroe search, they had their Mecha Trainer search. They could choose and pick and choose which PG they want. But with a card like this, maybe you want to stick to one lane and make sure that you're consistent with your PGs more so, because this card can be played around with depending on what you search and kind of punish you for it. Vanguard Circle, when this unit attacks a Vanguard, if you have another unit in the center column, it gets +3, helps you hit that 30k requirement easier. The 30k requirement isn't that bad, but it's not easy because it means that you need to be in Legion and you need to have a booster, right? But it's definitely easier for Dreon because on Legion you're 20, with the skill you're 23, with a booster you're probably 30 unless you call a PG down. And yeah, I think that Dreon has it easier to hit the 30k, and it's definitely a better early game card, and then you transition into the other legions. So Lion Eater, 9+3, pretty solid. You're probably going to be playing 3 or 4 of this. Can't go wrong with 12k meters. And that's about it with the reveals. Next up, we have some official tournaments. We have the Aichi Birthday Festival, revival of the different specific cups. So just to recap, these cups would be using the specific clans from these sets only. So for example, from Catastrophic Outbreak, from June 7th, Catastrophic Outbreak, you'd be playing like Link Joker, Nova Grapplers, and stuff like that, I believe. And then we have some other stuff like we have the Vanguard Zero 2021 Summer Championship, the qualifiers. So go check that out if you're interested, and some other cups for the new set, new season, like only using the new clans and whatnot. So yeah. Next up, we have the Start Super Decks. No, not Start Decks. Confused with the TCG Super Decks. So complete 3 missions for a free Super Deck medal, do 10 character fights, get 10k VP, and pull gacha 10 times. And also, if you're a new player starting an account after June 1st, you will get an extra Super Deck medal, so you will get up to 2. And of course, if you're interested in supporting the game, each Super Deck is purchasable through 3,540 yen. So that's, convert it yourself, but that's not cheap. But for 6 triple rares and 4 PGs, that's pretty value, honestly. And for some clans, it's definitely worth considering. For example, Revengers that are getting new support and whatnot. So talking about Revengers, here's an example Super Deck. If you haven't checked out my Super Deck video yet, it's 6 free triple rares as explained in the thumbnail and the title. And you're also getting some 4 PGs and some really good relevant support, like Tartu, for example. These cards you'll probably see for quite a while, Doreen and all that. So definitely consider trading in your Super Deck medal, and maybe if you're a new player, consider spending some money, because unlike the original decks that they had at the shop, which were completely garbage, these are actually pretty decent at the very least. Next up, we have the Aichi Fest badge released after the update on June 1st. Similar to this working we had in the anniversary and half anniversary, you can exchange these medals in for triple rares, double rares, and cards up to set 17, so you can't exchange for new stuff. But also you can exchange for 26 types of mini character sleeves. These are cute, these are nice. So, but would you rather have triple rares and double rares or cute accessories? Well, that's up to you to decide. We also have skins. We have Oliver Gayad with Gold Paladin, Philip Neve with Dimension Police, and Rati Kurti with Shadow Paladin. I don't get the hate for Rati with Miss Kurti here, but Oliver is Gaiad is always a fan favorite, I think. And Philip is pretty underrated. So pick these skins up. They're 200 each, respectively. Again, these skins are so expensive. But in regards to the last quarter night, probably gonna come with Neonectars, which are Neonectars maybe Granblue clan event. That is event clan, which is coming soon. So that's hopeful, but expensive. These are expensive for sure. Next up, we have the coupon exchange lineup updated. We have the original Beast80 Ethics Buster, and we also have Blaster Dark Revengers, just in time for the Revengers support. Of course, sleeves, first time ever, you're gonna have these as sleeves. And we also have Season 36 Holy Prominence of Oath beginning on the 1st of June, and will last till the 15th of June. Rewards include sleeves for Bluish Flame Liberator Percival and Oath Liberator Aglovale, and the Legend 10 20, 30, 50 reward is the exclusive art for Oath Liberator Aglovale. So of course, if you pull the grade 3 in the gacha, which there are 2, you will get an extra copy. But probably next season is going to be similar to season 34 and 35, where 34 was Blaster Blade Seeker, and then 35 was Thingsaver Seeker. And then so I assume 37 would be one of the grade 3s. Which one? Who knows? But hey, at least free-to-play players can have something to look forward to, I guess. So golds, that's about it. I think at this point, golds have more rank rewards than Bermuda, which had a lot of rank rewards. And some clans haven't even had a single one yet, so that's a bit hard to see. But hey, that's just how it is, right? So let's move on to global news. Starting off with the new set, of course, June 1st, we have Diva's Duet. Blank or noir instead of black or white, kind of making that change. I think that's good. Don't want to never mind, I'm just gonna skip that. Again, for the deck support gacha, for those uninformed players, beware that Bermuda Triangle is not included. This could be a win if you don't play them, since the odds of pulling the other clans are now higher, or it could be an L if you were looking forward to them, since they're not included. Either way, Bermuda players have the last laugh, since the triple rare distribution for the set is highly skewed towards their clan. So if you're looking forward to like new Silverthorn stuff, or like new Maelstrom stuff, then or that Kaiser stuff, then buckle up, because you're probably gonna be seeing a lot of Bermuda along the way. One thing I missed talking about the Bermuda gacha just now is that again in the set overview that I hope you have watched already, there is 2 different banners for the first 3 clans: Aquaforce, Dimension Police, and Pale Moon. Includes everything, all the things are the same. The only difference between the 2 banners is that one banner will only print out black or blank side cards, and the other banner will only include noir side cards. So pick and choose your favorite art, it doesn't really matter, and it's all G. And then we have the rank reward. We knew this already. It's Lukie. I think the different fight got to like top 100 or top 50 or something for this season. So that's pretty exciting, and follow the footsteps of Daddy Different Fight. And here's the calendar. We basically know everything except for the birthday for Asaka Narumi. So this is Pale Moon. Traditionally, when our main character, the character that represents them in the character fight list, has a birthday, we get a birthday gacha. We haven't had that in a long time, so a lot of people might have forgotten. But I completely missed the one on Aichi as well. June 6th, of course, I missed that one. I was more focused on the Pale Moon one. But June 6th, June 11th, I personally think that, speculation only of course, I personally think that we could have a birthday gacha for these 2 clans, Gold Paladin on the 6th and Pale Moon on the 11th. So if you are a Liberator player, or you plan to play some Liberator stuff in the future, look forward to June 6th. If you are a Pale Moon player, look forward to June 11th. Can't say anything that is confirmed, but what I can say is that we did a speculation on it. We kind of looked into why certain clans got birthday gachas, why certain clans didn't, and this is just the trend, and this is what I can expect personally as a player. One of the hard parts is that Pale Moon does get support the set, so maybe you're tempted to spend all your gacha rolls on like the first if you're just a Silverthorn player. Of course, that will only include the new Silverthorn support, but again, the birthday gacha will only include Pale Moon units. So think about what you want, and definitely by the 6th, if we don't get a cool Paladin one, then you definitely know that we're not getting a Pale Moon one, or probably not getting a Pale Moon one on the 11th. But yeah, hopefully keep in touch, and maybe next week we'll talk about the IG birthday gacha. But yeah, that's basically it. Covered everything I wanted to cover this video. So I checked out, I again, talked about basically everything for the global side on the set overview. Covered, yeah, again, everything. So please check it out if you haven't already. And that's basically it. We're only a few days till the new set, and honestly, I can't wait. One last clan left with Dark Irregular, so who knows? Who knows how the things will shape up? The Amon stuff might be a bit strong, honestly, if they don't adapt it correctly. But yeah, let me know who you think is the biggest winner coming out of this set. Personally, I find Shadows and Dimension Police both quite enticing, and seemingly the strongest. But again, you never know until you get those cards in play and actually see them in practice. So, like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and want to see more. And I'll see you all very, very soon. Bye.